they can't grasp that people want to criticize Western foreign policy, Westerners, right? They can't grasp that this comes from within. If you say this, then you must be Russian, or you must be influenced by Russia, or you must be... No, that's rubbish. You're making that up. This is a smear. That's what it is. We are living in a Red Scare. It's funny, by the way, because I always remember the Red Scare from the 1950s, the McCarthyism, the McCarthy trials. And it turns out, actually, there was one before that. And I was like, oh, right, yeah. So right now we are in the third McCarthy, or shall I say we are in the third Red Scare, where everybody you don't like, just call them a Russian, just call them a communist, just call them a so-and-so sympathizer. And for those of you who don't know, McCarthy was an American politician, right? He was an American politician, and he held these sort of like trials, these witch trials, where he would accuse people of being communist sympathizers, right? And they went after actresses even, and actors, people in Hollywood. That actually, Hollywood was hit a lot by that. But, people, he would criticize anyone he doesn't like. Oh, you're a communist sympathizer, you're this and that. Watch out. Your friend, your colleague might be a communist sympathizer, might be a red. I think he accused someone in the army in the military of being a communist sympathizer, and people had it. And then it completely, blew up in his face. And unfortunately, it stuck with a lot of people. You have people who grew up in the Cold War with this mentality that you have, the West and the East blocks. And that's it. If you say something that's against or critical of NATO, you must be Russian, because it's black and white. People like me, who were born right when the Cold War ended, we're supposed to be better than that, right? We're supposed to grow up in a world where America is the only good thing. I'm joking. You know what that is? When the Cold War ended, there was a famous article called The End of History, and they basically said, look, Russia's defeated, the Soviets are defeated, it's finally the golden age where America's the winner. No, my point was that we're not supposed to have this mentality, this Red Scare mentality. We're supposed to be more mature than that. And unfortunately, what's happening right now, you have people bringing back this 1950s stupidity, right? This blockheaded mentality that anyone you don't like, they're Russian this and Russian that. Man, what the hell? Stop this. They're ruining everything. It's really intellectually damaging as well, because it limits people's cognitive abilities. They can't think anymore. They're basically just wiring their brains to think in black and white, and abolish any sort of constructive or just general criticism of their own country, their own governments, their own policies. This is the whole point of being a journalist. You're supposed to hold the powerful to account, especially your own, right? Especially your own country. That's why when Julian Assange is on trial in my country, in London, I'm there. I'm in the courtroom, and I'm talking about it. And I covered the whole thing. And that's why when the UK is doing all this stuff in Yemen, training Saudi pilots, supporting the war in Yemen, doing all these abominable things, I talk about that, right? And when NATO, which the UK is in, is doing what's doing right now with Ukraine and Russia, sending javelins and sending this and that. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm just supposed to cheer this on? No, this is not okay. This is, when you do something bad, you have to criticize it. And so they target me for literally just sitting here. Literally just sitting here talking. That's it. They're so afraid. They're so rattled. I mean, it's pathetic. It's really like telling on yourself, But I appreciate it. It's a badge of honor, right? We wear it as another badge of honor right here on the sleeve. Thank you. Thank you. May God grant them wisdom and lead them towards peace, right?